Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Interea. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. And if you want to support the people that make this game, you can go to their Patreon. So, on the last Let's Play, we woke up to our Wolven Emperor boyfriend and had a little discussion, and then listened to a Dastron history, both from the viewpoints of the wolves and the Chamians, the jackals. And boy, they do definitely paint two different pictures of the Third War. Woof. And then we race the jackal here to the island, where he wasn't happy with us, being exhausted all the way out here. And then we found Alexis and Cassius, who seemed to be rewind their communication, or Alexis's communication device. Woof. Anyways, let's redo my face and start. He focuses on this, barely reacting. Oh, it's you two. Hello, Dark. He looks Neferu up and down. Neferu. I see that the jackal wishes to make make us all uncomfortable with his unsightly privates. Congratulations, Jackal. Your ploy has worked. What? You not mentioning my privates? What were the two of you talking about? Just now, I'm simply tired of Alex screeching at me like I am his pet, especially as you're about to depart on this very public tour. I shake my head. I have no idea these assholes were coming with us, but the possible espionage takes precedence. Hold on a second. Are you building an Amorphan communication device? I don't know how much about Amorpha or its technology, but antennae made out of a vine sounds like plant tech Amorphans have mastered. Oh, that? Yes, indeed. Do you have an interest in such technology, Dark? What? No. Why the hell are you building it? This definitely goes against the rules that you agreed to That definitely goes against the rules that you agreed to stay here, Alex. I don't know why am I reading. I feel good, but all of a sudden my reading's like, no. Agreed to stay here. I guess that's not really a typo. Cassius looks around, seemingly confused. What? This isn't his project. I'm simply fascinated with electronic foliage, and I'm learning the basics. By building it on this island, where Alex had his last communications device, you can't be that dumb, Cassius. Excuse me? Calm yourself, Cassius. They have no appreciation for Amorphan technology. Chamians have such intense superiority complexes. Why are we bringing this prick with us? That's just insane. Enough. Just because you are the Emperor's pet. Boyfriend. We don't do pet play. Yet. Cassius shudders violently. Pets, as I was saying, does not mean that you can say whatever you like to me, or my pet. Good day to you both. Neferu and I watched them walk the length of the beach, then get into the sightseer I hadn't seen behind a bend of trees. Also, is this before or after the, when we get proposed to? I mean, I guess we're also kind of keeping it on the down low. Well, I suppose I have to speak to Amicus about this. Same. Even more to worry about on our little trip. I don't get why they're coming. Cassius is still a popular face in Adastran politics. It's all politics, just as I'm being brought along to represent the sought-after alliance. I sigh, sitting under some shade. Then, what am I? Well, I think Amicus is more fond of you than the rest of us, but otherwise, most Adastrans haven't seen a human person. Might as well get them used to it before your species' entry into the Galaxis. Also, were the movies about my sacrifice done yet? Because I remember that being part of the ending part of Adastra. Anyway, I must head back so I can prepare an appointment with Virginia. She must know about the ongoing dangers of Alex as well. To cut a conversation short, just remember that this tour is not all leisure. There is a great deal of danger when it comes to these separatists. They would die for their cause, just as most of us would. Alright. Though do allow yourself to have fun. Sorry. Probably need more tea. Just with caution. Head back now and send a sightseer. Don't think about swimming back without one. I nod, and Nephew heads off, still naked, though back to his old self at least. And to wait for the sightseer, I lay back in the cool, shaded sand and fall asleep. Awaken! I wake up with a jump, yelping under Amicus's fluffy form before he starts kissing me, his paws sliding up and down my body. Let's do that again, because that was funny. Fall asleep. Awaken! I let him do that for a few seconds before pushing him off. Boy, they really want me to do a whole bunch of censorship. Amicus, what the hell? Oh no, you're not lecturing me, especially not after you apparently swam here without a sightseer. I wince, silently cursing Nefru for not being able to keep his mouth shut. And falling asleep under scant shade? Dark, have you forgotten how badly you burnt 2 months back? How could I forget? Amicus was so horrified by the prospect that he questioned how humans survived with so few natural defenses. I'm becoming more concerned about you every day. I rub my eyes as Amicus helps me to my feet, just looking at the audio to make sure it isn't too big. I was waiting for a sightseer. It's here. Good thing too. Our guide for the tour has arrived. Who? Amicus waves his paw dismissively. One of the bear siblings. He's weird like they always are, so I'll keep our indiscretions short. Interactions. Your interaction short. Okay, I frown. I think I can decide that for myself. Yes, of course. Now, let's be on our way. Amicus lifts me into the bridal carry, so I don't burn my feet on the sand. You are not waiting for me. No, you are not waiting for me. I said the 11th hour, you know. You're always late. How could I be late on a day like this? I cling to my fiancé. Okay, fiancé. This is after that one scene. Listening to his deep voice rumble through his chest. Have you packed your essentials? Don't worry, I have not either. Let's prepare for the journey together, Dark. I hope you're excited, because I have much planned for just the two of us. On our way to the sightseer, I look back at the forest, and it's then that I remember what happened before I'd fallen asleep. Wait, did you know Cassius and Alexis are coming? Yes. That was a bit of a last-minute addition to the plan. I did not know if Cassius' schedule would be free when we departed, And it turns out it was. I mean, that's fine, but I just think it's weird that we're bringing along the guy that tried to kill everyone. Alex? I'm kind of exaggerating, but Alex's particularly successful plan was to destabilize Adastra is one of the main reasons life here was so difficult. Wait a moment, how did you find out? I booked them a suite in the city. They are to meet us at the university. I frown. Never told you about me swimming here to the island, but not how we caught Alex building the communications device again. No. Boy, look at that face. Man, Pharaoh's got weird priorities these days. Wait, what is this about Alex building a communication device? Well, we overheard Cassius talking about building a plant tech device, and Alex built one here last time because the signals were out of range for interception, right? Oh, that little shit. Amicus suddenly stops and takes a deep breath. It's like he's deeply pondering something. I may actually have to kill him. Huh? Amicus continues walking towards the sightseer, though his jovial mood from earlier is completely gone. I can't believe he'd make me do this after I gave him an undeserved second chance at life. Wait, are you serious? You going to execute him? Suddenly, the idea of Alexa's actions could actually lead to deadly consequences is, well, disturbing. It would make sense, but I just can't imagine him being offed like that, with Amicus being the one responsible for it. But then Amicus sighs again. No, I probably should. I know my father would have. And as Emperor, I'm obliged to seek justice for my people. Which would be the end of the cat, and any relation with Omorapha. But I'm shifting our diplomacy to a more Kamian style. And executing diplomats, no matter how justified, is simply not how it's done. So wait, is Alexis a diplomat now, instead of a pet spy? Relations with the cats is already strained as is. I think you should just deport him. Oh, I would, you know that. But it's all more complicated with Cassius in the mix. Amicus finally lowers me onto the sightseer, and we begin to float across the lake. So, I thought he was doing social work in the poor towns and cities. He managed to sync our schedules in Lux, so he will be accompanying us for just the first part of our journey. He's still popular in Lux, so the visual of him by my side could be rather advantageous. After that, we will part ways. So is Alex going to fit into all this? Doesn't the public know what he did? Cass says that emphasizing that Alex's pet will play into the narrative that the saboteur was conquered. I thought you'd gotten rid of the pet system. Another decree being held back by Cassius' antics. It will be abolished as soon as that damn cat is out of the way. Perhaps I should just get rid of the problem and surprise Lux with the public execution. They still enjoy such spectacle in that region, you know? I think I'm starting to see why Nephew didn't tell Amicus about Alex. I try to shift the conversation to a lighter tone, though. I don't think you'd execute him, even if you weren't changing the diplomatic style. Even if you weren't changing the diplomatic style of Adastra. Sorry that I seem to be having a bit of problem. Sometimes I do well, others not so much. And also yawn a lot more sometimes than others. I always hate it because I enjoy most of the visual novels I do, this one included, but I hate to be like, yeah, I'm enjoying this I'm doing it. You can tell by my very tiredness. But it's also kind of a pain where it's like, I want to see more of the story, but I can only read so much. At least read so much well. Which is one reason why I was able to mainline Adastra, since, I didn't actually read that out loud. Oh, are you implying that I'm soft? Well, I just think that you remember when Alex was your friend, and that stays your hand. Besides, I poke him in the stomach. You are soft. Oomph. He grunts, and seems about to say something, but then awkwardly looks away at the palace. You alright? I am. Then he takes a breath, that like he always does, before talking about something that bothers him. Speaking of pets, remember your role has changed, and you should consider yourself to be an equal amongst the siblings. Okay. I narrow my eyes, not sure exactly where this is going. Optics are a very large part of politics, and perhaps you should consider carrying yourself in a more formal way compared to when we are in private. I mull that over for a moment, then feel my face get a little hot as I realize that Amixes tell me not to emphasize him with PDA. Embarrass him with PDA. Oh, public displays of affection? I instinctively want to become defensive, to tell Amicus that this is just another one of his issues, but no, this really is an important part of politics. It is an important part of life, actually. I can't just haphazardly plant a kiss and rub Amicus' body in public like that. I mean, I think I already would have known this, but it is an odd thing to hear Amicus say that. I clear my throat, hoping I don't look as red as I feel. Oh, yeah, of course. I remember my formal stance. I clasp my hands in front of me. When we arrive at our imperial villas, it will be different. You can do whatever you like to me, then. Yeah, definitely. My failure to banter back, like usual, isn't lost on Amicus, and the silence becomes awkward, something that doesn't happen very often these days. I'm not sure why I feel so deflated. I suppose it could be because I didn't really process the fact, until now, that this would be a glimpse into my future life with Amicus. A lot of formalities. I accepted this fact months ago, along with the fact that it's very likely that I won't ever feel at home, both on Dastra and on Earth. I'm sorry if I said something foolish again. It just, then with politics, you should think of both. No, you're fine. It's just time and place sort of thing. It's just, well, I'm hoping I'm able to do things right, and that I don't screw up and embarrass you somehow. Dark, if you manage to embarrass me half as much as I embarrass myself, I'll be genuinely impressed. I think Amicus is underestimating my abilities. Well, I'd like to not embarrass you at all. You already have enough to worry about, without me causing you problems. With stuff like optics. Honestly, you should probably stay at the villa until you finish all the important stuff. I'm genuinely trying to offer a realistic solution, but I can't help but feel that it's coming off as bitter. Amicus clearly thinks the same. Listen, we didn't go to hell and back, only for you to then be hidden away like a bad secret. You're important, and not only to me, but to all of Adastra. Public gaffes are not enough to change that. We finally reach the shore at the moment, and Amicus helps me out of the craft. Alright, but in Adastra, a history, they talked about a few emperors They couldn't adjust to the formalities of the position and abdicated, or even descended into insanity and become mad kings. Are you doing alright? Please, Dark. My mind is not so weak that I can't handle the duties expected of me since birth. I mean, it does seem to come out of nowhere that he's like, hey, you're not going insane, are you? It's like, I feel like Amicus is, like, on the health scale of people's mental health, Amicus seems to be, like, top tier, you know? Especially when it comes to emperorship. And you're referring to Emperor Lucius, the one that married and divorced every week because he was too important to bear impotent to bear children? Amicus laughs loudly, and I just stare at him. Okay, first of all, it has nothing to do with weakness, and if you do feel like you're crumbling under the pressure, tell me. Promise me that. My tone brings Amicus's bravado crashing down, like I hope it would. Yes, of course. Just trying to add a touch of levity. What does that mean, levity? I mean, I can surmise what that word means. Humor or frivolity. Secondly, yes, I was talking about Lucius, and yes, he was real self-conscious about his dick not working to the point that he received execution by immolation to punish anyone he thought might have mentioned it. Revived. Okay, let's look at what immolation is. Boy, my FBI agent is going to be very confused about what I'm doing. Yeah, it's the state of being immolated. What does that mean? To kill or destroy, especially by fire, to offer in sacrifice. Okay. Ah, yes. I believe anything phallic was enough to send him into a rage. It is a very dastard story. Though I do not remember a mention of deaths by burning. Perhaps you're confusing his era with an earlier one? I open my mouth to deny that I am, but then I remember that I'd heard that particular piece of information from the Chamian rebuttal. Maybe. Either way, my earlier statement stands. It would be actually very fascinating to listen to U.S. history, but then, like, U.S. history from, like, somebody that's, like, U.S. history from, like, I don't know, high schools or something like that, maybe college, but then history from, like, one person or group or something that isn't, you know, affiliated with it, or even from the receiving standpoint, like U.S. history from Mexico or Canada or Native American standpoint. Though one of them, you know, pass on. Maybe. Either way, my earlier statement stands. Of course. And I feel that maybe this also applies to you, in that you're feeling a bit under pressure at the moment. I sigh. A little. I am representing all of humanity after all. Amicus puts his arm around me as we walk towards the palace. Oh, did I have my hand on thing? Or mouse? There we go. Trust me, this will all become easier once you've experienced your first day. This will just become a bit boring after that. I prefer boring these days. Me too. I can tell that we're running pretty late, even as Amicus takes his time to get ready, including fitting in another shower that he pulls me into. He assures me that But because of the semi-formal nature of the trip, the schedule isn't all that strict. Of course, that doesn't really matter when others are waiting for us. Others, like Virginia. I guess we can go just a little bit more. She stares at us as we walk up to her. The automatic carriage sits behind her, Nephew casually slouching in front, busying himself with his tablet. As we come to a stop in front of her, Amicus keeps his arm around me, still in good spirits. Virginia seems to work her jaw for a moment before speaking. You were impressively late this time, Amicus. Almost an hour, in fact. Sorry, Virginia, but unforeseen circumstances dictated that I take a dip in the lake. I then determined that being late was worth washing and groom myself so that I may be presentable. Just get in the carriage, Amicus. Of course, dear sister. How have you been lately? We've not had a moment to catch up today. I would have kicked Amicus if he'd been seated at a table. Virginia just eyes her brother up and down before turning away and climbing into the carriage herself. Today, I've been reminded that most things are not worth it, brother. Fantastic. Amicus hops into the carriage and offers a paw to me, pull me up, while at the same time the carriage begins to move. Let's keep going. Are his tactics to antagonize you beginning to succeed, Virginia? That's not like you at all. It depends on the day, Nephew, though I must admit those particular days are becoming more frequent. I glance up to Amicus, but he just continues smiling, running his blunt claw through my hair. While I understand and usually side with Virginia when it comes to Amicus' behavior and lack of punctuality, I do sometimes feel like it when he's able to counter her dour mood with an overtly positive one. We ride in silence for a while, content to just take in the scenery. About halfway there, Nephew turns around. Did you tell Amicus what we discovered on the island, Dark? Amicus lets a slow breath, his content mood dissipating with it. I'll take it as a yes. Why didn't you tell him? Because he explodes on the topic of Alex. Have you decided what to do? No. Well, you do have an advisor. Kill him. I'm sorry? Kill him. Oh. Boy, I just heard the music rise like, the cat has done more than enough to deserve it. Not a public execution, mind you, but rather an accident. I go over what Virginia just said in my mind. Not really sure if I'm understanding correctly. This would at least deprive Amorphra with one excuse for war, and if you truly feel you have any options in terms of deportation or imprisonment, I honestly recommend this route. It's asinine that we are allowing a dangerous spy to be this close to the Imperial family. It is dangerous for all of Adastra. I shift uncomfortably. While I knew Amicus hadn't been serious before, Virginia seems to be deadly serious right now. Meanwhile, Amicus doesn't react much at all. Continues to stare at the back of the bench in front of us, while he goes on stroking my hair. The way you speak of death so callously for someone we know is quite unsettling. Nephew, well, thank you for alerting me to the issue. I'm not in the mood to lecture on the superiority of Chemian morality today. The bigger problem with the cat is that he's going to go back to Amorpha eventually, with the knowledge he obtained here on Dastra. Have you not heard rumors of what the cats are planning? They claim the parents to be malicious. Even Dastra never outright said such things. If I'd ever taken the time to think about it, I definitely would have assumed that Virginia would have wanted Alexos executed. But her idea echoes of something in the past that I want to bring up, but I can't. It's a strange feeling, like I'm choosing to stay silent because it's not my place, but also that if I try to speak, I might not be able to. I also feel like you're being watched. This isn't a new feeling. It's something that I've experienced over the past several months. In fact, it started the university we're heading toward now, and I try to force an image of a contorted figure in the back of my mind. I lean harder against Amicus. They are in political turmoil for the first time in millennia. In my opinion, it is simply necessary reckoning with their identity and values. They return to the fold as a stronger people, and we will welcome them back. Which would be a mistake on the part of the parents. This talk about the parents, when they know what cats are capable of, reminds me that I'm under their control in so many ways, and right now I can feel it even more than ever. I put my mouth, feeling the mechanical structure in my throat, strained to protest, jammed as if it has stopped working. They have my voice, and I know they're using that against me right now. I grip onto Amos's thigh and hear him grunt, then shift to look at me. Dark, are you alright? He says it in a low voice, so I won't interrupt Virginia and Nephru. I won't be silent. I won't. Amicus jumps as my voice makes an odd, glitchy droning sound before something to kick it back into working order. What was that? Are you alright? Yeah, sorry. Something wrong within my throat machine the parent stuck in me. It's working now, though. I look at Virginia. I just want to say that I'm completely against killing Alex, and I'd rather you not talk about it in my presence. I notice then that I'm heaving for breath. I'd planned to say it with a calm, firm sort of way, but something was trying to stop me, and that left me even more unsettled than the assassination talk. A strange feeling hangs in the air, and not just from one caused by an awkward glitched out. Sorry, I didn't catch that word. Outburst. Rather, something feels different, like I've broken away from something, like I've stirred away off the road I'd been stuck on. It's like this wasn't meant to happen. And it's like I'm free. Amicus, your boyfriend is psychologically sound? Of course he is. Amicus takes a closer look at me. You are alright, right? You said your throat modification is having issues? I heard my throat, finally catching my breath, quickly nodding. Yeah. Sorry everyone, something got stuck. And I really wanted to say something, so I kind of just exploded out. You really wanted to defend the cat? Hey, enough of this. He just said he didn't want to get involved in this. I just think we should consider who else plotted an assassination, and made it look like an accident. It's a different situation, yeah, but I think we're a bit better than him, and can figure out a more peaceful way to solve this. And for those of you that didn't catch, that's Cato. Virginia keeps her eyes narrowed and doesn't say anything. I, for one, agree. I would consider visiting the university archives to see if the parents will check your device. That sound was truly otherworldly. Yeah. Amicus stares at me with concern for the rest of the ride, as they fall into a very uncomfortable silence. I don't mind it, though. I'm ramped up in trying to figure out what the hell just happened and what exactly I should do next. And with that, it's a good time to call it. Boy, I thought it was just like, oh, for this, let's play Cassis and Alexos, and then Amicus, and then talking about stuff, and then Virginians, like, and then maybe we broke away from the parents. That doesn't sound good. So, that's going to be the end of this. Let's play some comment. Guess I like comments. Some you like, dislike, tips, as always. If you like me, sorry, that just came out under like my YouTube and like Zeke Grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos that have grown. Please remember to spend your animals have control the pickup pet population. And until next time, let's wait. Me, GamerWolfSix of Interea. I'm enjoying and intrigued in, and I'm glad to get back to these characters again. Hyena. So thanks and see ya.